This real quick.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Brian,
And I'm Brett Ratkowski.
and we're here today with Brett and Brian Real Estate Q&A. Last week we talked a little bit about the mortgage process, what it took to get pre-approved, why it's so important to get approved up front. And today we're going to jump right into what a buyer consultation is and why it's important. So do you want to kick it off and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so essentially a buyer consultation is you meeting with your realtor or your realtor meeting with you as a buyer. And from there you go over, one, what you've been pre-approved for, what you want in a house. So what we'll talk about is your wants versus needs list, right?
Okay.
So what you want in a house versus what you need. And then from there, we go into a little, you should have a realtor that goes through what to expect throughout the process.
Okay.
And that's essentially just, going just like the pre-approval. You met with the mortgage broker and you went over the pre-approval process. Is
Right.
Pretty much we're just going to go over the buying process and what to expect while we go out and look at properties and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So let's drum up a little scenario here, right? So
Yep.
I have a client. We pre-approved him for $250,000. He can go either conventional or FHA. It would depend on the home and what kind of program he wants to go with.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do next? What is the first thing you do after I send you that pre-approval letter? How do you get the ball rolling with the client?
So one, I'll set up either an appointment at my office or out their home, a place of residence. We'll sit down and we'll go over, okay, so this is what you're pre-approved for. What cities do you want to live in? What areas do you want to be in? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? Like I said, like creating a wants versus needs. So wants is, it has to have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Okay.
Right? We want to stay, we're pre-approved for 250,000, but we don't want to max out at, we want to max out at 230. Have to have a pool, we have kids and they love swimming and stuff like that. So
Okay.
narrowing down what has to be in a house and
Okay.
what else would be an added on.
Okay, so can you give us an example of what might be maybe like an add-on? So you're saying like this client, they have to have a 3-2, they have to have a pool. What's an add-on for them? Like maybe an example of what's a little add-on.
Like a renovated kitchen, or
Okay,
yeah,
makes
like
sense.
so, a lot of people want renovated homes, right? So somebody that's
course.
move-in ready, they don't have to do any work. They want a specific square foot, but if it's a little less, it's okay. So
Right.
a need is 3 bedroom, 2 bath. We have 2 kids, married couple. We have to have 3 bedroom, 2 baths. We have to have. We're living 1,400 square feet now, and it's a little tight. We need 1,600 square
Okay,
feet.
gotcha.
Pretty much the house and where the house is located. And then everything from there is you want crown molding, or you want porcelain tile floors, or
So cosmetics and stuff like that usually
Absolutely.
fall into the
Correct.
the want rather than the need. Okay.
Correct.
So you have this initial meeting, you talk about the wants and versus the needs. Why does that benefit the client so much? Like why is that so important for the client and for you? Like can you explain
Yeah,
that a
absolutely.
little bit?
So it benefits because it puts us both on the same page,
Okay.
right? So I can send any realtor can send anybody
Right.
whatever listings are on the MLS.
Right.
Okay, but that wastes a lot of time. In today's market, the homes are flying off the market. So,
Okay.
so what I do is I sit down with them, I set up their search for them. Once we go over the wants versus needs list, they have the expectation of what to expect from me, and then from there, what I do is go in and create the search. But not instead of just sending them every property, I go through and specifically look at the pictures, the data on the property, the stats on the property. Does it fit their criteria?
Right.
From there, now they're only getting properties that I think, without seeing them, would fit their wants and needs list.
Okay, gotcha. That seems to me like you're not only saving the client time by not dragging them all around South Florida to
Absolutely.
try to find them a house,
Yep.
but also you're saving yourself time and you're working efficiently together to meet the end goal, which is to find the client the right home for them within their budget.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. And like you said, it saves them time and energy as well, because they're not having to go through 200 listings that I'm sending them.
Yeah.
I'm narrowing it down to maybe 20, 30 at a time. And then from there, once the initial search is done, then it's an updated search every day or every week or every month, however they want it, and
Okay.
in their time frame. And then from there, we, again, I'm getting it, and before I send it to, or before it's automatically sent to them, I take a look at it and does it meet their criteria. If it doesn't, then I don't send it to them.
Yeah.
Right. So that way, in the search time, they're not wasting time at work or at home or whatever,
Right.
going through listings that don't even make sense for them.
Okay. So you also talked about like kind of setting expectations for the real estate process.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what that sounds like and some of the things that you talk about when you're setting expectations about, what happens from here if they do find the right house?
Yep. So we start with the search, obviously. Then I go into what to expect from me.
Okay.
Right? Because we may have just met spoke over the phone. You may have called on an ad I had or a property I had. And then from there, after once we have the buyer consultation, the price, the wants and needs list, then I go and say, okay, from me, you're going to get contact me anytime a day, text message, email, phone call. You can expect to always hear back from me. If I don't answer the phone, I'll give you a call within the next 15 minutes. If not, I'll shoot you a text message saying, hey, I'm with a client or I'm with this person. I should be done at this time, and I'll give you a call. So the expectation of what to expect from me on my part. And then we go in, and then I tell them a little bit about the searching process. And
Okay.
some homes are vacant, some homes are owner occupied, some are tenant occupied, right? So the difference of vacant properties, we can go see that right away. Okay. Some showings are 24-hour notice. So, they may like a specific property, and then from there, got a call coming in. So
Yep.
from there, they may not be able to get, they might send it to the morning, say, hey, can we see this at 5:00? Well, at least I already set the expectations that some properties may be 24-hour notice. So if you send it to me in the morning, I may not be able to show it to you that night, maybe the next day.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, thanks for sharing all of that. Is there anything else you want to add from a buyer consultation standpoint, from setting up upfront expectations, from when it comes to getting the first step done once you have a pre-approved buyer? Anything else you would want to share on that?
No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I pretty much tell everyone before we meet, listen, this is what I'm going to need from you. Take some time with your wife, your spouse, essentially, and say, what do we want in a perfect home? What is it that we want and need? Right?
Yeah.
Come up with that wants and needs list before you come to the buyer's consultation.
Gotcha.
That way it saves you time there. And then you and your spouse can talk about it personally. If it's just you by yourself, then you pretty much know what you want already,
absolutely.
right? There's no going back and forth with it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. So from there, like I said, just come ready to learn on what to expect in the buying process, right? So
Yeah.
like I said, I also go a little bit over, once we find the house, the next step is the offer process, right? So I'm going to send you the comps of that property and let you know, okay, this is what I think the house is really worth. It may be at full ask, but it may not be. Some sellers like to put it over because they want to leave some room for negotiation. So
Right.
you never really know until you make an offer. Worst they can say is no, right? So
Of course.
so I go a little bit over that, and then really more of the inspection period and the contract to close, I go once we get under contract. I send you out a timeline of what days we need to meet inside that contract time.
And
So,
I think next week we're going to really start jumping into, once you do find your perfect property, what to expect from me, the mortgage person,
Yep.
before you make your offer.
Absolutely.
And you, being a real estate person or professional, what to expect from you
Absolutely.
when you're putting your offer in and initially going under contract. So that's our next topic that we're
Yep.
going to be getting into.
Again, if you ever have any questions, like I said, this is live. So if you have any questions about the buying process, the mortgage process, you can always put your type your questions in. Once we get this rolling, week after week, we'll have a little bit more time to go through the live video, to get to the questions live, if there are any.
Yeah.
If not, then if they come in after, we'll always reach out and put
And answer
any question,
anything that comes
and if
up.
it's something that we don't know, if it's a question that we've never had asked before, we'll find out that answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So If you do have any questions, feel free to comment below. Otherwise,
What's up, Max?
like it here. Emilio from high school, Cindy, who works with me, Amy, thanks for joining. We're just wrapping up here, and if you missed most of the video, feel free to hop back on and rewatch it. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll talk soon.
Max, we're going on a boat soon, so get ready. All right, guys, take care.
Take care.